Alright, so this is going to be a relatively simple video this morning, but I've got this old McLean edger here. This is actually the one that's been in my family for years, but I'm going to go ahead and replace the pull cord today. There's a few reasons for that. One, this is an old pull cord. It's not in the worst shape, but back when I originally did this pull cord, I cut it too short. So I'm going to go ahead and replace it, and this is the type of rope I'm going to be using. There's the part number. I bought this rope 2 years ago and I'm starting to really get down to the last of it here, but it's been well worth it. This is about the best rope you can buy, starter pull cord. And I get it on Amazon. I think I paid under 20 bucks for that rope, if I remember right. But anyways, the easiest way to go about changing a pull cord on one of these is to really just remove your starter recoil assembly. And there's a bolt here, one over here in the back, in the front rather, and there's one over here in the back. And then once you get those three bolts out, this just kind of slides right off. So I'll go ahead and remove those and we'll clip back in when I do. So all three of those bolts are now out. Now, simply, you just pull it off, and there you go. So I'm actually going to move the unit out of the way. It doesn't really need to be right there anymore. And now we can get a better look of the recoil inside here. As I said, this thing is pretty old. The easiest way to go ahead and change out one of these is to pull your cord all the way out. And so now the cord is all the way out, and as I said, it was cut short, unfortunately. So I'm just kind of rotating it. Sometimes you'll have to get in there with a pair of needle nose in order to get the old cord out. So now that that's out, I'm just going to cut the knot off. I'm using my thumb to hold the recoil down. And so just pull the old one out. And I am going to throw one more twist into this to give us a little bit more tightness, because I don't think there was enough. So now here can be the tricky part. If you need to, you can get a pair of alligator vice grips, stick them through here. Unlike on these newer ones, where you can just stick a screwdriver or another sort of long pointy tool through the fins there, and you can stop it from backing up and unwinding itself when you're trying to work on it. You can't really do that with these, but you can use a pair of vice grips provided that you can get them in there. Just like this. So it's holding it in place, and now we can work on it. So I am going to reuse the old handle. In order to use the old handle, you'll have to remove the old rope from it. So we'll go ahead and do this. Pretty simple process. And there's that. So I'm going to leave this here and use that kind of as a reference point when I go and cut my new rope. What I do with these is I cut the end at an angle. You want to use a sharp pair of dikes or side cutters, but I cut them at an angle like this. Then I use a lighter to melt the end a little bit. There's a reason for this. Then go over it with gloved fingers. Gonna make it nice and sharp. Do it again if you have to. This is a trick that I've learned over the years, and it drastically cuts down any frustration you have with this stuff. So now all you have to do is just feed your line back in and try and get it back through the hole. As you can see, it is right there now. And so when you try and rotate your rope around, just kind of get it where about the best way that you can get it. And then use something usually long and pointy, or a pair of needle nose pliers, and you can typically get it out. And there you have it. So I'm just going to tie a knot into it. And I always usually like to leave about 1/4 inch on the end. There is a reason for that, because if you don't leave enough on the end here, it could lose the knot, and then you'll end up pulling the cord out and having to do this all over again when you try and start it up. So you definitely want to get that as much as possible. And I'm also pushing the knot down in place. So pushing the knot down in place will also help a lot with the knot staying a knot and not coming undone. And that should be well and good enough. So the last step is to go ahead and throw the handle on. So here's the handle. I'm just going to throw the rope through it. And then we have our backing piece right here, which I'm going to go ahead and melt the end a little bit of this rope. And that'll give us a little bit more assistance in installing this. And it's much the same as with the part on the recoil. Give yourself about 1/4 inch of rope on the end, and you should be just fine. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull this back through, and to tighten it, all you got to do is this. So it's nice and tight, and we're just pulling it back up into the handle and locking it down. So there you have it. Let's go ahead and remove the vice grips and see how it works. And so here you have it. Works perfect now. Nice, new functional pull cord. So I'm happy with that. It's not all droopy and sad looking like the other one was. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm going to go ahead and continue looking this thing over because I've already got it on the back of the truck, so might as well give it a look over, check the oil, that type of stuff. So you guys all stay classy. Stay tuned for more videos.